Yehezqel, Ezekiel chapter 33. And the word of Yahuah came to me, saying, Son of man, speak to the children of your people, and you shall say to them, When I bring the sword upon a land, and the people of the land shall take a man from their borders, and shall make him their watchman, and he sees the sword coming upon the land, and shall blow the ram's horn, and shall warn the people, then whoever shall hear the sound of the ram's horn, and shall not take warning, if the sword comes and takes him away, his blood is on his own head. He heard the sound of the ram's horn, but he did not take warning. His blood is on himself. But he who takes warning shall deliver his being. But if the watchman sees the sword coming and shall not blow the ram's horn, and the people shall not be warned, and the sword comes and takes any being from among them, he is taken away in his wickedness, and his blood I require at the watchman's hand. And you, son of man, I have made you a watchman for the house of Yisrael, and you shall hear a word from my mouth, and you shall warn them for me. When I say to the wicked, O wicked one, you shall certainly die, and you have not spoken to warn the wicked from his way, that wicked one shall die in his wickedness, and his blood I require at your hand. But when you have warned the wicked to turn from his way, and he has not turned from his way, he shall die in his wickedness, but you have delivered your being. And you, son of man, say to the house of Yisrael, This is what you have said. If our transgressions and our sins lie upon us, and we pine away in them, how then shall we live? Say to them, As I live, declares the Adon Yahuah, I have no pleasure in the death of the wicked, but that the wicked turn from his way and live. Turn back from your evil ways, for why should you die, O house of Yisrael? And you, O son of man, say to the children of your people, The righteousness of the righteous man shall not deliver him in the day of his transgression. And as for the wickedness of the wicked, he shall not stumble because of it in the day that he turns from his wickedness. And the righteous shall not be able to live because of his righteousness in the day that he sins. When I say to the righteous that he shall live, and he has trusted in his righteousness, and shall do unrighteousness, none of his righteousness shall be remembered, but because of his unrighteousness that he has done, he shall die. Again, when I say to the wicked, You shall certainly die, if he turns from his sin and does right and righteousness, if the wicked restores the pledge, gives back what he has stolen, and walks in the laws of Chai without doing wickedness, he shall certainly live, he shall not die. None of his sins which he has committed shall be remembered against him. He has done right and righteousness. He shall certainly live. And the children of your people have said, The way of Yahuah is not fair. But it is their way which is not fair. When the righteous turns from his righteousness and does unrighteousness, he shall die because of it. But when the wicked turns from his wickedness and does right and righteousness, he shall live because of it. And you have said, The way of Yahuah is not fair. O house of Yisrael, I shall judge every one of you according to his own ways. And it came to be in the 12th year of our exile, in the 10th month, on the 5th of the month, that one who had escaped from Jerusalem came to me and said, The city has been smitten. And the hand of Yahuah came upon me the evening before the man came who had escaped. And he had opened my mouth before he came to me in the morning, and my mouth was opened, and I was no longer silent. Then the word of Yahuah came to me, saying, Son of man, they who inhabit those ruins in the land of Yisrael are saying, Abraham was only one, and he inherited the land, but we are many. Let the land be given to us as a possession. Therefore say to them, Thus said the Adon Yahuah, You eat meat with blood, and you lift up your eyes toward your idols and shed blood. Should you then possess the land? You depend on your sword, and you commit abominations, and each of you defiles his neighbor's wife. Should you then possess the land? Say this to them, Thus said the Adon Yahuah, As I live, those who are in the ruins shall fall by the sword, and the one who is in the open field I shall give to the beasts to be devoured, and those who are in the strongholds and caves shall die of the pestilence. And I shall make the land a desert and a waste. The arrogance of her strength shall cease, and the mountains of Israel shall be a waste, with none passing through. And they shall know that I am Yahuah, when I have made the land a desert and a waste, because of all their abominations which they have done. As for you, son of man, the children of your people are talking about you beside the walls and in the doors of the houses. And they speak to each other, each saying to his brother, Please come and hear what the word is that comes from Yahuah. And they come to you as people do, and they sit before you as my people, and they hear your words, but they do not do them. For with their mouth they show much love, their hearts pursue their greedy gain. And see, you are to them as a very lovely song of one who has a pleasant voice and playing well on an instrument. And they hear your words, but they do not do them. And when it comes, see, it shall come, then they shall know that a Nevi has been in their midst. Yehezqel, Ezekiel chapter 34. And the word of Yahuah came to me, saying, Son of man, Nevi against the shepherds of Yisrael, Nevi, and say to them, Thus said the Adon Yahuah to the shepherds, Woe to the shepherds of Yisrael who have been feeding themselves! Should not the shepherds feed the flock? You eat the fat, and you put on the wool. You slaughter the fatlings. You do not feed the flock. You have not strengthened the weak, nor have you healed the sick, nor bound up the broken, nor brought back the straying, nor sought what was lost. But you have ruled them with might and harshness. And they were scattered because there was no shepherd, and they became food for all the beasts of the field when they were scattered. My sheep wandered through all the mountains on every high hill, and my sheep were scattered over all the face of the earth, and no one was seeking or searching for them. Therefore, you shepherds, hear the word of Yahuah. As I live, declares the Adon Yahuah, because my flock became a prey, and my flock became food for every beast of the field, from not having a shepherd. And my shepherds did not search for my flock, but the shepherds fed themselves, and did not feed my flock. Therefore, O shepherds, hear the word of Yahuah. Thus said the Adon Yahuah, See, I am against these shepherds, and shall require my flock at their hand, and they shall make them cease feeding the sheep, and the shepherds shall feed themselves no more. And I shall deliver my flock from their mouths, and they shall no longer be food for them. For thus said the Adon Yahuah, See, I myself shall search for my sheep, and seek them out. As a shepherd seeks out his flock on the day he is among his scattered sheep, so I shall seek out my sheep and deliver them from all the places where they were scattered in a day of cloud, dense cloud. And I shall bring them out from the peoples and gather them from the lands, and shall bring them to their own land. And I shall feed them on the mountains of Yisrael, in the valleys, and in all the dwellings of the land. In good pasture I shall feed them, and their fold shall be on the high mountains of Yisrael. They shall lie there in a good fold, and feed in rich pasture on the mountains of Yisrael. I shall feed my flock, and make them lie down, declares the Adon Yahuah. I shall seek out the lost and bring back the strayed, and I shall bind up the broken and strengthen what was sick. But the fat and the strong I shall destroy. I shall feed them with right ruling. And as for you, O my flock, thus said the Adon Yahuah, See, I am judging between sheep and sheep, between rams and goats. Is it not enough for you to have eaten up the good pasture, and the rest of your pasture you trample with your feet? Or that you should drink of the clear waters, and the rest you muddy with your feet? And as for my flock, they eat what you have trampled with your feet, and they drink what you have muddied with your feet. Therefore thus said the Adon Yahuah to them, See, I myself shall judge between fat and lean sheep, because you have put pushed with flank and shoulder, and thrust at all the weak ones with your horns, and scattered them abroad. Therefore I shall save my flock, and let them no longer be a prey. And I shall judge between sheep and sheep, and I shall raise up over them one shepherd, my servant David, and he shall feed them. He shall feed them and be their shepherd. And I, Yahuah, shall be their Elohim, and my servant David a prince in their midst. I, Yahuah, have spoken. And I shall make a covenant of peace with them, and make evil beasts cease from the land, and they shall dwell safely in the wilderness, and sleep in the forest. And I shall make them and the places all around my hill a barakah, and shall cause showers to come down in their season. Showers of barakah they are. And the trees of the field shall yield their fruit, and the earth yield her increase, and they shall be safe in their land. And they shall know that I am Yahuah, when I have broken the bars of their yoke, and I shall deliver them from the hand of those who enslaved them. And they shall no longer be a prey for the Gentiles, and the beast of the earth shall not devour them, and they shall dwell safely with no one to make them afraid. And I shall raise up for them a planting place of name, and they shall no longer be consumed by hunger in the land, nor bear the shame of the Gentiles any more. And they shall know that I, Yahuah, their Elohim, am with them, and that they, the house of Yisrael, are my people, declares the Adon Yahuah. And you, my flock, the flock of my pasture, are men, and I am your Elohim, declares the Adon Yahuah.